Hello and welcome back to round 2 of this season in F1ABEEZ Tier 1. And this round we are at Singapore, as you can see in the bottom left. And we have 15 drivers, I believe. And last week's race winner is not one of them. Hypes. ZC Hypes, and yeah, so this is the first time you'll hear my voice, and my name is Merx, so you can refer to me as Merx. And so Harvey Allen finished on the podium also last week in second place, and finishing out the podium was Lemons. So last week's race winner and championship leader at the moment. Also Red Bull championship leader in constructors. They are not here, but welcome along to Singapore as we start qualifying, as Jake has already left the session, so that is a great start. I'll get the telemetry up. And who's going out on track? It is Jake. Jake is out on track then. First man out on track. Jake is, well, I'll call RL Jake that, and then I'll just call Jake OR, or I think that's OR. So I don't get confused. Or just Alpha Jake and Aston Jake to separate them out. But yeah, here we are then in Singapore. It's dry running. I'll wait and see if there is any update. Any update on the weather? Excuse me. Before we go into the race, but it looks dry at the moment. You don't want to be doing that on your lap, Alpha Jake. As you can see, he was invalid. So yeah, it's a long lap around here. 20. Oh, was he almost? Puts it in the wall on the out lap. 21. I think 21. 23 corners. I think actually. Yeah, most corners on the track as he has kept it valid. So we are going to go around. Alright, yeah. With the Alfa Romeo. He goes through turn 1, 2, and 3. Very nicely indeed through his turn 4, not even a corner in these cars. Turn 5 is nice, as he doesn't use all the curb or the runoff on the exit, not really much. As we have one more in, QWERTY has joined, so one person will be getting knocked out of qualifying. There's a yellow flag for an Aston Martin. Looks like he's just getting out of the way of someone, but it didn't have to. And through the middle sector, Jake goes, and it seems fairly solid at the moment. Just needs a lap to get him out of Q1, as when QWERTY picks his car, there will be 16. These are solid laps so far from Jake, and can he complete it off without putting it in the wall or invalidating? Seems fairly solid at the moment. Times will start to tumble as we go through the sessions, but coming round the final corner now, final 2 corners actually, Jake, so it's a 1:37.4. That's the fastest time so far. There has been a new patch recently. Wednesday the patch came out. So it has changed the cars at the rear slightly, so the times will be a little bit different to what they were before. Here comes Night Fever. And the Ferrari, as he almost loses the car. But coming around the final couple of corners now, he goes 0.6 slower and puts in a 1:38.0. And well, there you go. Smithy on the mediums as a 37.3, and well, quickly beaten by Harvey, who does a 35.9. On the softs, there's a bit more like it. Let's have a look. Who have we got? McLaren has invalidated, and we'll have to go again. RL Jake, as the other Jake, has left the session. RL Jake's teammate has gone. Oh, I say it's gone 5th, but it's not a representative lap time. We've got an Alpine ahead on an out lap, and then we have a Mercedes. Might be Demolition Dan, so we'll have a look, but he's invalidated. So eyes on Jake then. Around the final corner he goes, and it is 1:36.0. Very competitive time compared to Harvey. Who else we got coming around? Alpha Tauri goes 3rd fastest. And a Ferrari. Alpha Lewis goes 4th. And let's have a look. Who else we got around? Going around. Ferrari up towards the line. He'll probably going again for another lap. And we have Mercedes. Demolition Dan going again. No, that is Mr. Smithy is coming into pit lane. Who else we got? Big Sufai, as he's retired from session. He's had enough already, interestingly. As Harvey's coming into pits. So let's have a look. Krypik, I believe that's how you say his name. Hello, please. You need to settle up soon enough, but you've got 11 minutes to do that. I hope you are well. I'm assuming that's you anyway in the lobby. But yeah, there we go. Harvey Allen has just gone 9th, and Demolition Dan goes 6th on a second lap on the soft compound tyres. You really see me crash and be last. I haven't seen you on track yet, so that would be helpful. What is the weather? You'll know. What is the weather for the rest of quali and the race? But while we look at that, we are on board with a Lemons, and he's in McLaren on the medium tyres. Wet race, great. Wet race on Singapore fills me with a lot of confidence of a clean race. But yeah, that should be interesting indeed. Dry quali is good. So, oh yeah, wet race means that we could be here for a long time. But yeah, hopefully there's not too many safety cars. At least. Here we go then. Lemons coming around the final few corners now. So pigs do fly. Interesting gamer tag. Has come into the pits. Harvey Allen has crashed on track. So now everybody just needs to set a lap time. Who hasn't set a lap time? And there he is in the middle of the track. That has not gone well at all for the Alpine driver. Hello, K. Froome. If you are well. Currently, Lemons is the only guy pounding around on a lap. Harvey is actually out on track. Just starting a lap on the same set of tyres. Just want to check if... No, okay. Lemons is slowed down. I'm good, thank you. How are you? So Harvey on the track, and then we've got Prix, Mint, Elephant, and So Pigs Do Fly. So Pigs Do Fly actually sounds like, or would fit in quite nicely in horse racing for a name of a horse. That is what that game tag reminds me of. But yeah, nice to see an inventive gamer tag. Harvey, let's have a look at his second sector split. And he is half a second down on the same set of tyres, which you would expect. And who else? We're going to leave Harvey and look at the white Red Bull of Prix. Let's have a look into the final sector. He goes on the medium compound tyres. I'm assuming these are opting for the mediums because of the wet race and they want to get through into the final part qualifying to have the best grid slot possible to them, because usually, as he is going all over the track at the moment, so really not getting used to the mediums at all. As he goes wide out the final, into the final corner, but it is a 38.5. Then we've got Alpha Tauri invalidated and Haas invalidated. Let's have a look. Anybody else going around? Let's carry on board with Prix and see how he's getting on. And fortunately for him, it was only his front wing that come off. Demolition down on another lap. Let's have a look. Takes a lot of curb at turn 1. Car settles down nicely. What's the sector split? He's 10th and a half down. But he's through anyway, so probably just getting some practice as Prix is struggling to get the car slowed down at the moment. He just crossed the line, or did someone... Oh, and that's a big crash. Oh, that's Harvey who's crashed. He's out as well. That's what flicked up on my screen. What? Yeah. So there you go. Harvey crashes. And Demolition Dan crashed as well. He kind of demoed his car at that point. And well, yeah. And they didn't actually need to well, didn't really need to push at all. They could have just stayed in the pits and they'd have been alright, but they're not. So they're going to be starting all at the back. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they decided to push so hard when they were already through, especially Harvey when he'd set the fastest lap, and it was quite obvious that at that point no one was actually going to beat him. Let's have a look at So Pigs Do Fly on his lap on the medium compound tyres. Not behind his teammate. I'm sure QWERTY is probably a little bit of a distraction as he crosses the line though. He goes 9th fastest in the session in Q1 as people start retiring. I think that was Mint Elephant out on the track. Here comes QWERTY down Raffles Boulevard. Set a decent first sector. So have a look through the middle sector then. Can he keep it out of the barriers? Doing very well so far. And a 104.9 through first two sectors, goes a little bit deep. And at the start of sector 3 there, and now through the chicanes of the final sector. Looked like he might have gone a bit wide in the first part as he scrapes the barrier, going under the grandstand. And now the final chicane as the Duke, I'm going to call him. I've probably butchered that off. That was a bit wide, but he gets it, keeps it on track, and he goes behind his teammate for P10. And here goes Mint Elephant then. Chavez call, I believe, is still in this session. CEO of Williams, how am I P6? Because you set a lap fast enough for 6th. Who will win? At this point, anybody. If it's a wet race, then it's a bit more of an equaliser in some sense. So yeah, it's just about keeping your car on the track at that point. I'll give you a better answer when we get to Q3 and who will win, but yeah, I have no idea at this point who's going to win. Could just be about who keeps it on the road. Here's traffic ahead of the Alpha Tauri. Please get out of the way. Oh, that's a bit of a distraction. Oh my word, I don't know what's going on there. QWERTY, yeah, QWERTY hits Pigs Do Fly. Oh no. I don't know what the Hassels were playing at. They kind of just ruined themselves. And QWERTY has retired on track. And that kind of a messy end to Mint Elephant's lap. Oh, this is just... Sets at 1:39.7 in the end. And that is the checkered flag now out as we wait for Pigs Do Fly to come into the pit lane. A bit of a miscommunication from the Haas team there. Which resulted in QWERTY getting a 5-place grid penalty, and Mint Elephant just getting, well, yeah, just blocked to a large extent then. But yeah, we wait for retirement from the house. But there is the 12 people that will be going into the next session. And leaving us is Harvey, Demolition Dan, Harvey Allen, the Duke, and Chav is cool. Who didn't set a lap time. 30 picking up a 5 place group only. So at best he'll start 6th. But that would mean he'd have to put it on pole. And well, by Q1 times it doesn't look like that's going to happen. As Play says 2 people want a DNF. Well, considering you're on the mediums, then suggests that you could go a lot faster than that. So don't count yourself out just yet. Into Q2 we go then. And everyone's, well, I'm assuming everyone's going to be on the, well, the fastest time to be on the soft tyres with a wet race. Who's out on track? Ferrari. Of Night Fever. And, well, Jake's out on the mediums, Hitman's out on the mediums. But says Mint Elephant wasn't even paying attention. That Mint Elephant has crashed. Well, there's one DNF for you, Plays. Yeah. A bizarre start to, as I'm not sure what Night Fever is doing. I don't know. Getting out of the way of people, I guess. Didn't want to be first. Well, make sure you don't DNF first, please. That would probably help. From Smithy then. First man to start a lap. Can he get through this without invalidating? And it looks like he's going through the lap. Decent enough so far. As he goes up to the Singapore sling, revamped several times, and obviously almost it's the Armco before the Anderson Bridge, and now into the hairpin, the end of Sector 2. It's a decent lap so far from Mr. J. Smithy. he's doing fairly decent at the moment. As he almost crashes coming out of the final corner. It's 1:36.5. It's the fastest time so far, and RL Jake beats it on the mediums. Night Fever goes for third fastest for the moment, but then drops to fourth. As RRL Hitman goes third in the AlphaTauri, and that's an validation for Crypic. So Pigs to Fly goes fourth fastest in the Haas, and go all the way back to the Red Bull of Plays, the lone bull in this session. As he almost crashes, and looks like he's going to back out now, and I don't actually know if he was on a proper lap as it was, because he hasn't really used that much ERS, so he's going to go again. While he does have 1:47.1. Yeah, it didn't look like he was really pushing it. He's got a lap on the board now, and he's going to go again. And of course, if someone DNFs, then that'll be helpful to him. And here we are then, on with Lewis in the Ferrari. A little bit wide. Medium's probably not giving him enough grip. Goes around the final two corners. Is a 1:37.2. Hitman went again, did a 36.9, but still a long way off Jake's pace at the moment. Let's have a look at Lemons around the final couple of corners. It is a 37.4 on the softs for Lemons. Softs do tend to overheat around here, so do the mediums after a while in the race. As Crypic is across the line with a 1:37.1, but no front wing, and is still in the session after all that. Plays will be next across the line, and he's got 6 seconds up, and he's definitely gained a lot more than that. 8.5 seconds, and he is in ninth. So is the time set so far. He still has a time on the board at the moment, as he doesn't want to DNF by spinning. I was about to say so then. I'm gonna invite. I don't think Jake's. I'm gonna pause a second. Race director. Yep, Play's just DNF'd in front of my eyes. Can someone try and invite Jake OR14 back into the session? I don't think he's in at the moment. Anybody actually on a lap? Right, he's about to start one. Yeah, I don't think Jake is actually in the session right now. So, I think he needs to invite back, which I am going to do. Right, we're back in action. We have Mr. J Smithy out on an outlap, out on track, and we have Quercy on an outlap. And I've invited Jake back. Doesn't seem like he's in the session. So hopefully he can join back as Crypic. As drivers got to watch out for QWERTY rejoining the track as Prix has left the session, which is not good either. As well, QWERTY doesn't actually have a helmet on either. Who's commentating? Okay, Blitz. My name is, well, my gamer tag is Mercs47. And this is, well, the first time I commentate over, in this league, so it's my debut. But yeah, that's not exactly what QWERTY wanted or what Smithy wanted either. And Smithy validates. I'm not surprised he's directly behind QWERTY. So QWERTY still going. I don't really know how representative this is because he was backwards. I think he probably crossed the line. Yeah, he had definitely crossed the line. So he did a 1:49.3. I suppose he didn't back out of that lap really, but all he has to do is set a representative lap time and he's through. Doesn't look like Jake is joining back in the session, so that's not good at all. Currently, QWERTY is the only one on a lap. Players has joined back. Hitman has retired from the session in the pit lane. And, well, everyone can retire really because nothing else is going to happen. It doesn't look like Jake is joining back. And yeah, 2 drivers already out, so they could all just retire really. But we'll go on board with the Haas then, in that case. And so pigs do fly. And his teammate pits, and Lewis Such is on a lap. Here he goes then through the final sector. Where can he get any higher than 7th apparently. As I say, it doesn't hugely matter where he ends up as long as he doesn't put it in the wall. And around the final 2 corners, it is 5th fastest for the Haas driver. Let's see, it's 5 tenths up is Lewis. That would put him. Well, that would put him 2nd if he is able to carry on that pace. Trying to get my maths right. Around the final 2 corners, it is fastest overall with a 1:36.5 on the soft compound tyres. Night Fever, his teammate, working ego. Working ego then, can he improve from 8th in this session? Up towards the line now. He might have been slowing down. There's a yellow flag. There might have been someone resigning in the pits. But it's a 1:37.3. As we wait for the Haas to retire, or he can come into the pits and retire. It's not too far away from the pit lane. And we wait for Q3. So there you have it. Apparently Crypic didn't even set a lap on any tyres, which is fantastic. Nor did Mint Elephant. Well, Jake didn't even come out. Mint Elephant didn't even get set a lap because he crashed basically after he exited the pit lane. Not long after, and Plays crashed on a in lap to the pits, I think. But yeah, we have 9 for the shootout for pole. Here we go then. Q3 underway. We go on track first. Looks like Hitman. And yeah, everyone. Well, so most people kind of just flying out of the pits now. Looks like the 2 Haas drivers and 2 Ferraris. There's 1 Ferrari's now actually coming down the pit lane. And that is... that is... Lewis who's coming out of the pit lane. So almost looks like So Pigs Do Fly is going to come out the pits now, and then everybody will be out on track. And there he is. Everyone out on track now then, on an out lap. So we'll see the times come in. As RL Hitman leaves the session. So that's a not so good start for him. But then we'll have a look at Mr. J Smithy then. On track, here he goes. On turn 1 into turn 2, turn 3. Gets it turned in nicely. Out through turn 4 as QWERTY has crashed on his out lap, which is not good. So it's not going great for these drivers at the moment in the session. Down Raffles Boulevard we go. Down towards turn 7. 26.6 in the first sector. It's very decent so far. Really the fastest time we've had is Harvey in Q1. And a 35.9 as he clips the wall, does Smithy in to the Singapore Sling over the Anderson Bridge, and he gets it slowed down nicely for the hairpin. Been setting around 104s through the first 2 sectors, 103.3 now. He's improving quite a bit now is Smithy, so he's saving his best till last by the looks of it. Now through the final chicane, not final chicane, final few chicanes, and he has invalidated on this run. It would have been a very good lap indeed. I wonder if he's going to finish it off. We will see what the lap time would have been, but yeah, just falling foul at the chicane, and he's coming to the pits. RL Jake then, he's invalidated as well. Does anybody want to set a lap for pole position? Looks like Lemons, no, he's spun. Griping has invalidated. Lewis is on the lap, he's valid. He's coming up to the 2 McLarens. Fastest time will be a 1:36.6 at the moment. Everybody doesn't seem to be doing as well on their laps. Here comes Night Fever through the final couple of corners now, up towards the line. It is 1:38.2. Currently a Ferrari front row because So Pigs Do Fly has also crashed on his lap. So a couple of crashes, a couple of invalidations. His teammate couldn't even finish the out lap. It's not going well for most drivers in this session. Jake goes again. What can he do in the Aston Martin? Hitman has joined back. There's several issues going on at the moment for people in this lobby. And here comes Jake through the final couple of corners. And he sets a provisional pole time of 1:36.1. Very good lap there from Jake in the Aston Martin. As Kripik goes just in behind, 900ths of a second back in the end. And who else we got? Night Fever into the pits, and it should be Smithy to do the next lap. Here comes Smithy then through turn 1, 2 and 3. So he's set at 26.6 first time around. What can you do this time? 26.8, it's a couple tenths down on what he did before. Not quite as good. And he's under pressure now, obviously, with invalidating his first flying lap. Yellow flag in sector 3. It's like to be a slow Aston Martin. With Jake, he might be out of fuel. We did go for 2 runs. And Crypick might be following him with the out of fuel. But yeah, Jake safely into the pits. Here comes Mr. J. Smithy. What can he do? It's 103.3. Yeah, he's 7 tenths down on what he did through the first 2 sectors before. And this time he just needs to set a lap. In reality, as he goes through the final few corners now, up towards the line. What's it going to be? How high will he get on the grid? It is 4th, faster 136.9. He could definitely go faster than that as Hitman is about to start a lap, and that is a big drift. So, as Lemons validators, 2 we have Ferraris on that lap. So it's going to be So Big Stu Fly. Next to cross the line. And he is now finishing the 2nd sector. He seems to be on a decent lap so far, in terms of the drivers around him. And what can he do then? Comes around the final couple of corners now, and up towards the line. It is 137.0, so he goes 5th fastest in the Haas. Here comes Hitman back in the session, and he put it on provisional pole. Can he put it on the front row? What can he do up towards the line? It is provisional pole for RL Hitman. And it's a 136.0. That is a very decent lap time indeed, as Lewis, well, is on a lap but has invalidated. So Pigs to Fly is invalidated as well. We have Jake about to start a flying lap, last flying lap session, and just under a minute and a half to go. Here goes nothing then for RL Jake through the first few corners. He goes. And his first sector split, what's it going to be? He is a tenth and a half up through the first sector alone, and he only needs a tenth and a bit to put him on pole position for this race as it currently stands. And he takes a nice wide line through there. And he's doing quite well at the moment. Can he put it back on provisional pole? as he goes over the Anderson Bridge, round the hairpin, and almost 5 tenths up through the first 2 sectors. And this is to smash Hitman's lap. His one and only lap after he disconnected before he even got to his first runners. We have a Ferrari round at the Anderson Bridge. So the Haas of So Big to Fly needs to watch out for that stricken Ferrari. It looks like he might have just got out of the way. Jake up towards the line. It's a 1:35.4. He is currently on pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix as Lewis Such retires on track. So Big to Fly is up on his time at the moment, and he's trying to improve from 6th on the grid. And what can he do? Oh, he smacks the wall on the exit. Up towards the line, and he doesn't improve in the end. Night Fever, can he improve from 7th? He does improve, but stays 7th fastest. And Prix up towards the line. He puts it on the front row. What can his teammate do in the McLaren? It's fairly solid first 2 sectors up towards the line, and he puts it on the second row in 4th as Hitman comes into the pit lane, and that will be that for this session. So Jake is on pole by 4 tenths, and he looks to be favourite for this race. There you have it. There's our top 9 on the grid. The 9 that were in this session. He didn't get to set a lap time, but it is RL Jake who is on pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. And it is a wet race, so this should be, well, on the basis of qualifying, this race could be interesting, to say the very least. And there is the rain. Let's have a look. And it is full wet tyres. So that's going to be fun. For the 17 drivers on the grid. Someone else join? Or someone else must have... No? I don't know at this point. I thought there was 16, but I guess not. I clearly miscalculated. Someone else joined and I didn't realise. But there was 15 to begin with. We're getting underway straight away. And there you go, formation lap is underway now. And it doesn't look... Oh, as we already have a spinner of Prix and the McLaren. I'm going to get the telemetry up. Well, we'll put up gap to leader I don't need to know what tyres are on because they're all on wet tyres. But yeah, good start from Prix there. That is not what he needed. I don't think Jake is in the session either still, so he said his Xbox shut off. Yeah, he's not in the session at the moment. As Lewis and Smithy crash into each other. And yeah, well, from what I know, it's set to be full wet for the whole thing, so probably going to be here for a long time. So this should be fun. As Plays has joined, I didn't even realise he'd left. So there you go. Ben says, "Let's go, Travis. Cool. Last the first Wetmaster." As pole sitter Jake has spinned it on the formation lap. So far, the top two have crashed on the formation lap. Well, not crashed, spun on the formation lap. Prix off the line and Jake in the final sector. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic race by the looks of it. Oh, there's another spinner in the background. I actually don't know what's going on right now. Seemingly no one really practiced in the way anyway, but seemingly QWERTY didn't. Not many people even were expecting rain around Singapore. It's like 2017 throwback at the moment. Yeah, Travis calls the win from 17th on the grid. So yeah, let's see. And I need to find Jake. And there we go. So then here we go. Then 5 red lights are now coming on ahead of the drivers, and they are off, and we are go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Looks like they got away fairly evenly, and they're about 3-4 abreast in the background, and there's already going to be a big crash with the Mercedes, and he's backwards, and there's full cars all over the place. Almost 5 abreast going through turn 1. Has a demolition down on the outside, and ahead of Jake, who is not in the session at the moment, so he will be ghosted. And there's contact further back, as it looks like it is Jay Smithy who went off, and it's already a VSC. So that's a good start. Ben says it's going to be a hectic race. I mean, yeah, someone's out already. Virtual safety car retired on track. That's fantastic. But yeah, Jake keeps it from Prix and Hitman, and Lemon's a little bit further back, and 10 viewers, that is what we love to see. Double figures for the first time, and we should be getting underway shortly with the VSC. See how they react to it going green. As still virtual safety car is going on. Travis Hall stuck right down there in the mud. Yeah, as we go green, here he is, Travis Hall in the Alpine. I mean, all he has to do is keep it on track, as Lemons has retired from the session ahead, and there he is off the track in the wall. There's QWERTY in the wall as well. It's all going wrong, and he has lost his wing. So there you go, Travis Hall has made it up to 14th. Oh, that's a slide for Night Fever. We've finally finished the first lap. Yeah, we could be here for quite a while. But yeah, we are underway. I see. There we go then. Someone went off the track there. Demolition Dan was that? Going off the track? Yeah, looks like it. 3-second time penalty. And he's going to be under pressure from Night Fever. As Mint Elephant gets past Jake, but he's not in the session. Plays and QWERTY in the pit lane. And the race just starting to settle down as Jake is now over 4 seconds clear. And we have a nice little train for second place at the moment, or starting to form for second place. And it's getting all close, and it looks like Jake's comfortable out front at the moment. And look at how Hitman is just pushing through these corners. This is slow as you go. It's Night Fever. Makes the move on Dan, and here side by side. Oh, this is not going to end well, is it? Oh, somehow they get through there. Side by side. Oh, and that's a spin for Mint Elephant. And he's lost his wing. And there we go. And he is going to come back into the pits. And Travis Cool, last first. Hero is up into the top 10 now. And that is fantastic. But he's going to go some way to overtake Jake. Couple more drivers in the pits then as Hitman goes around the outside. Oh, there's contact. Oh no, there's contact between the McLaren and the Alpha Tauri, and it was, well, one of the slowest crashes you'll ever see in an F1 race. So that's dropped Crypic down, and Lewis is in the podium, places along with So Pigs Do Fly. As, yeah, Ben says my boy Travis up 7 places so far, and he's on the back of Hitman now and the Duke in the Aston Martin. Looks like Hitman might have damage, so they've got to be careful here of these cars. Oh, he almost loses it on the exit. He doesn't have damage actually, so his tyres are probably overheating. Maybe it might just be time getting towards the intermediate tyres if the tyres are overheating a little bit, but they do tend to. The big wet tyres, and here he goes then. He's going to go for a move. Got to be careful because it looks like Hitman is all over the place. You don't want to overtake him in a bad place. It's a yellow flag in sector 3. That is just up ahead of these drivers, and Harvey Allen has gone straight on, and he rejoins. Oh, he's still ghosted. Got to be careful here. And they're just crawling around at the moment. Oh, as I think there's a spinner, and he has spun as Hitman, so the two Alpines go past as Jake has dropped down and he's lost like 10 seconds. I don't know if he's spun. I didn't see that he's spun. Oh, he has definitely spun, because it looks like he's struggling to get around the corners at the moment. And once he goes past, yes, he has got damage to the front right, so it's all going easy as Mint Elephant picks up a 5-second time penalty. So the dream is still alive for Travis Cool at the moment as Jake goes off the track again. Lewis leads the race. Oh, as he goes deep, so I missed the overtake for the lead, but I wasn't expecting Jake to drop all the way back and break his wing. Must have done that in the final sector somewhere. And it's treacherous. It looks like it's good enough for intermediate tyres at the moment, in my opinion. Yellow flag, and that is Hitman into the pits, and he's crashed all side by side. Can he get it done? Off is all over the road here as they come out the Anson Bridge. You could throw a blanket over a lot of them. A couple of side by side moments. The Alfa Romeo. Oh my word! This is absolutely crazy at the moment. And I have no idea what's going on. And I think Jake's gone straight on. Yes, he has. And there he is rejoining the circuit. And Lewis now leads by 6.3 seconds and rising. And Harvey from 12th is climbing the leaderboard. He's now in 4th place. Oh, as he hits the wall himself for good measure. Does he have damage? Doesn't look like it, but might have slight damage. Let's see, he might have got away with it though, because it was a brush with the barriers. Straight comes into the pits. Gets into the pits safely. And Chavez Cool and the Duke from the back of the grid are now 6th and 7th. Up 10 places as Jake comes in for the intermediate. Harvey Allen comes in for the intermediate. As I said, it looked like it was coming towards the intermediate as Hitman has crashed again on the wet tyres. And yeah, his tyres are definitely struggling now, but yeah, that's what I say. It looked like it was coming towards the intermediate, so it was probably worth doing the Jarno Optimist strat and starting on the intermediates. But here comes Chavez Cool. Could have been a lot more places if he decided to come into the pits then, but he hasn't. And he's going slowly through the start of the middle sector. As you can visibly see that the track is starting to dry up now, as Hitman has he's coming to the pits. But we'll see how high Harvey Allen can get up. Let's have a look in the intermediates compared to the wets, because Quirty is going to lose out massively here. He had spun already, so he was quite far behind. And yeah, it looks like Lewis will come into the pits soon. He takes a large chunk out of that, does Harvey Allen. When he send it down the inside, has a thought about that as Quay hits the wall on the inside. And they're going to be side by side on the exit. And Jake in behind these has dropped behind Harvey Allen because of his front wing damage. And Jake's got to be careful that he doesn't hit the back of Quirty, as the move should be fairly easy. As Lewis, for some reason, has carried on. And so, yeah, he's carried on. I'm not all sure what the thought process behind that one was. And yes, Quay does come into pit, so that frees Jake. But yeah, now Crypic out of nowhere is now in the net maybe P1, because I don't know how well Lewis is going to do on those wet tyres. Keep an eye on as Mint Elephant is out on track as well still, but he's yet to come round to start lap 6. Hitman picks up a 3-second time penalty, and it was a whole 1 minute 49 behind our race leader Lewis at the moment. There's this yellow flag in sector 3, and I think that is one of the Alpha Tauris. There's Mint Elephant misses pit lane. Looks like Hitman spun. Yes, he did. And Lewis surely now will come into the pit lane. Yes, he does. So he'll come into the pit lane and we'll go on board with Prix as it looks like Hitman. Yeah, he spun and lost his front wing. Yeah, that is not what he needed. And we might see retirement from him fairly soon. Where is, for how far ahead is Lewis going to come out actually? Because if Krypek is there, I imagine Lewis has enough of a buffer. It's a fairly short pit lane, but with a lower speed limit. Or low pit limit, I should say. And yeah, there he is. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Jake sets the fastest lap. As it settles down, about 6.5 seconds is the lead for Lewis. And he has faster cars behind him. And Jake is currently setting the time and screens are light. And we'll go on board with him as Demolition Dan sets the fastest lap down in P11. So the times are starting to tumble. Here in this race, we are only on lap 7 at the moment. And there's a long way to go. As a gap is now increasing up to 7 seconds and over 7 seconds for our race leader, as Jake is still hunting the back of Harvey Allen in the Alpine. And see the tyre screeching as he goes through every single corner, but not much going on at the moment. Lewis is still extending his advantage out front, and it's rapidly increasing every single corner at the moment. Harvey in T4 picked up a time penalty, but sets the fastest lap, 1:54 flat. And let's have a look then on board with the Alfa Romeo driver. He's gonna try to set up a move here. What can he do? Can he go for a lunge down into turn 7? No. Yellow flag in sector 1. And that, I think, is Demolition Dan off the track. No, I think... Oh, looks like Hitman has spun again, a lap down. And it's a safety car. And he's retired on track for good measure. So we have a breather now. And the gap that Lewis had will be erased. And Jake picks up a 5-second time penalty for collision with Harvey Allen. And they're quite far apart from each other on the track. But it looks like he has damage, and Harvey Allen dropped back, so maybe there was a spin or something from Harvey Allen. And Jake ran into him, but he's going to serve his 5 seconds in the pits, I would assume. He does. Drive-through penalty for Demolition Dan for speeding under safety car, and Lewis has got up to the back of the safety car. And yeah, we'll have to wait for the AlphaTauri to catch up as time penalties are coming in. Left, right, RL Jake is on the hards, but it's still raining at the moment. Not quite sure what went through his head when he decided to do that. But yeah, that's not going to be. Oh, as everyone's changing positions at the front, I'm not quite sure what's happened up there. Looks like the McLaren has spun actually. It has dropped down. How are you third? Well, it seems like everybody is all over the place at the moment. So yeah, not really much going on at the moment. So we wait for safety car, and well, Demolition Dan is now gone on to the hard tyres. Can't tell if it stopped raining or not actually. No, it's still raining. And he's driving around, but as Harvey is now spun under safety car, and so Pixie5 has gone up to second. I have no idea what's going on at the moment in this race. The track just looks wet at the moment. And I can't believe that the hards are faster. Interesting, he's in first gear. Yeah, I'm quite sure, to be honest. But they're going to pound around on the hards and see their progress. There's another 5-second time penalty popped up for Crypic. So everyone is going on to the dries, and it is still raining. And yeah, I just don't know at this point. It just seems like there's grip, but now Lewis, who's in the lead, is probably not going to be in the lead for much longer. Which is a shame, really, because he's been doing so well. But well, I'm assuming it's meant to dry up, which is why everyone is on the set of dry tyres. A few drivers on the mediums and some on the hards. But I'm assuming the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Well, it should be in at the end of this lap. We've been around for a few laps now. But it has now stopped raining. So yeah, there you go. It was meant to dry up, so it was now, well, what I thought was a bit crazy at the time from RL Jake, and then Demolition Dan, has turned out to be the right choice. And then Lewis has now been hung out to dry, quite literally. So I imagine he's going to come into the pits at the end of this safety car restart. It's a shame, really, for him. And there he goes, just come into the pits, and it's going to be a difficult safety car restart, and they're all alright, 3 or 4 abreast at the moment. And there's a 5-second time race speeding in the pit lane for Prix, and it's all going on at the moment. And they're still going through quite nicely. There's a side by side now between Harvey and Jake. And it looks like Jake has got out on top for now. But this fight is going to continue all the way down to the next left-hand yellow flag coming out of the pit lane. Oh, it's Harvey's looking. And there's been contact, and they kind of all broke into each other, and Jake is around again. And that is left in the stand, 2 seconds clear at the moment, and it's all going wrong for so many people at the moment, and Harvey is one trying to make moves. As Harvey goes side by side with Harvey Allen and THX Harvey side by side, and it's a very nice move from Harvey in the Alfa Romeo. He is up into second place and almost loses it. Has a snap as there's Jake down in 10th place at the moment. There's Demolition Dan, so it's the fastest lap of this race so far, 1:43.2. There's Harvey, THX Harvey, just trying to go on his way to close down Demolition Dan, which he is doing currently at the moment. In behind are Harvey, Allen, and the 2 Haas cars. And doesn't look like there's going to be any moves down on here. And everyone's fairly spaced out at the moment. So we're going on. Jake trying to catch back up, and then to the back of his drivers. Have a look on board. He's now down in 10th place, 1 World Championship point. as Harvey's already on the back of our race leader, Demolition Dan. So we're going to quickly go back on board with Harvey, as he's absolutely flying at the moment on those medium compound tyres, of course, which are going to be stretched to the end of this race. But if he can get ahead now, he might be able to stop for mediums again and put in a charge later on in the Grand Prix. Well, Demolition Dan pits. Well, he has a drive-through, does he? Can't remember. Let's have a look. Is he going to pit? No, he does have a drive-through, yes. So DRS is now enabled as Jake and Play side by side. Jake has made the move. So yeah, he had a drive-through. I did completely forgot that he got a drive-through actually. So that's not gone well. As the two Haas cars are going side by side down Raffles Boulevard, and QWERTY is ahead up into the podium places. But still a long way to go, as Jake has made it past Chavez Cool for 7th place at the moment. He's trying to fight back. It's all going on at the moment as Harvey leads by 4 seconds. Demolition Dan has made an overtake on Jake's disconnected car. There we go. There we look, and then well, it looks like Jake is the one to keep an eye on. Seems to be, besides Harvey, the other fastest driver out there. Harvey on the mediums is definitely got some decent pace, and then Harvey Allen is using the mediums to good effect also. But yeah, Harvey out front has got some very good pace at the moment. I think that someone hit the wall ahead actually, from what I heard. I don't know if they did or not, but I can't really tell. But oh, low. It might have been Jake's teammate, the Duke. And they are side by side. And ahead is Jake into turn 1. As Plays and Chavez Cool getting very close together on the track here. And the white liveried Red Bull car always pushing him through turn 5. And they're going to go side by side down Raffles Boulevard, and it looks like it should be a simple move for Plays, and he is up into 8th place as it currently stands. Oh, when he almost loses it on the exit for good measure. And looks like Night Fever is putting So Bigs to fly under pressure, and Jake is not too far behind. DRS open, and we're not going to overtake there. Oh, it's very hard to overtake there. As Night Fever runs wide on the exit, but is still fairly close to the back of the Haas, and Jake is following along very closely as well. As Harvey sets another fastest lap of this Grand Prix, and is now 7, almost 8 seconds clear in the lead of the race. Here comes Jake on the back of Night Fever. He's pulled out, and he's already ahead of Night Fever as he goes through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and appears ahead. Night Fever's going to try and fight back. Plays made a move for P7 as well. Scrypick has picked up a 3-second time penalty going through the first few corners. As Jake stays behind for now. Yeah. Lewis is caught up somehow. He's not even that far behind. He had to pit on the safety car restart. I mean, he is 20 seconds off the lead, of course. and would have been a lot closer if he had stops earlier. But yeah, he's got some decent paces, Lewis, and it looks like he's about to overtake Travis Call fairly soon. Go on board with him actually, and there you go on the exit. Off the hairpin, he is ahead, up into 9th place, and they're trying to make some moves through the field now. Can Jake? I think Jake's going to make the move here. It's his favourite move so far in this race. The move into turn 1. He's going to get a better exit. He's going to have the DRS. But this time, So Big Stu Fly goes offensive. So Jake is going to have to go around the outside. There is contact. And the hand goes up. I didn't quite see what happened with the camera angle. But there was a bit of contact between the two drivers. But Jake is ahead. And he's up into P4. Now he's going to set his sights on QWERTY. But at this point, Harvey could come into the pits. And probably will come into the pits again sometime soon. Make a move. But here comes... Oh, and it looks like Jake has turned in there on So Big Stu Fly. And out of nowhere, De Haas just had a great run. And, well... it was entitled for some room, I would have thought. But from the camera angle I got, it looked like that Jake may have just turned in a little bit too much there. But that would be one for the stewards. After the race, unfortunately for So Big Stu Fly, that doesn't do him any favours. As Travis Call is now right on the back of him and the Duke is ahead. So it hasn't gone well for him at all. Lewis is up into 7th place through all that, and he's on the back of Prix. I think Prix just picked up a 3-second time penalty for good measure. And Harvey is 11 seconds clear out front. So he's absolutely flying at the moment. QWERTY is fairly close to the back of Harvey now, starting to close back in. Jake doing the same as Big Stu Fly. He picks up a penalty coming into the pit lane, and looks like he might have got some wing damage in that instant with Jake. Now through turn 5, and here comes Lewis once again, trying to go for another move and going to put himself into the top 6. Is he going to go? Oh, no, he's too far back. I think he's better of it for now, and we'll try later on in the lap. But he hasn't got much ERS to play with, and nor has Prix, to be honest. And so Big Stu Fly comes back out in last place in this race. Oh, 13th. Last place of the people who are still in the lobby. So then, 12 seconds clear is Tier 6 RV as Lewis goes for a move down the inside, a bit of contact. Oh, and the Red Bull is out on the exit of that corner. There's contact and he's been forced into the wall, and there's another safety car. And, well, that'll be another one for the stewards to look at. It was come to blows of the Ferrari and the Red Bull. And when he went for the move, there was contact. He maybe got a bit of a squeeze, but it seems that Prix has been pushed into the wall and he is out of this race. So I imagine that they're all going to come into the pits. I would pit for mediums to the end of the race if I was from here. Harvey was past the pit lane at that point, but yeah, I think everybody should come into the pit lane and go on to mediums. Looks like someone's actually staying out. Travis Call is staying out by the looks of it, but he's probably going to end up getting swallowed up on the hard tyres, but he's got nothing to lose. So Big Stu Fly gets a drive-through penalty. And the Duke's on the softs, interestingly. I don't know if that's going to work, really. Misplays leaves the session, I should say. As I thought, Harvey comes into the pits. Let's see if Travis Cool comes into the pits himself. He might still get away with a pit stop here because everyone should have a delta. And he would have had to stack behind his teammate. So he should be going on the mediums. And he'll come out. Who knows at this point? Behind the... almost. Jake actually comes into the pits. And he's on to the softs, has Travis call. Interesting call. Looks like Jake is going to do the same, go onto the softs. Yeah, I think Harvey's gone onto the softs. I don't know why they've actually done that, to be honest. Surely not going to last, unless there's another couple of safety cars. This is another safety car between now and the end of the race. Yeah, Travis Cool has come out in 7th. Jake has come out in 12th. Finish the leader. Let's have a look at the position changes. Well, Harvey up 11, Quay up 12, Harvey Allen up 12, Travis Cool up 10, Jake down 12 from pole position. He's last now. Everyone, obviously he can get past Jake, but yeah, he's last to people. This should be interesting, actually. Excuse me. Once everybody catches up to the back of the safety car. And we will go around one more time, but safety car should be in at the end of lap 21, starting lap 22, so we'll have 10 lap dash to the end. But yeah, everyone basically there now. Jake, the last one to catch up. Both Jakes, but RRL Jake is the one we're more concerned about, really. As somehow Lewis is the only one to not have changed position in this race. Such has been a crazy race. He's managed to somehow not gain anything or lose anything, considering he was in the lead and then was dead last, and now he's back in a decent position. We'll change back to the tyres. So a quick look at the penalties. So Pixify has a drive through, so he won't be in contention. The rest have a few seconds or 6 seconds. But yeah, on the softs are going to probably die, I think. towards the latter stages. But they're very grippy at the start. But as we see Harvey slow the pack down. When will he go? He's on the soft, so yeah, I imagine he might try quite late. Let's look at QWERTY putting on alongside. Almost contact. Safety car is still as yes, QWERTY did make contact. So he has a 5-second time penalty to his name, and we're underway here. Picks to fly, picks up a 5-second time, but he has a drive through, so he'll peel into the pit lane. We're underway again for the last 10 laps of this race, and Harvey will start to pull clear. And it looks like Krypik and Dejouk going at it, and here comes Jake down the inside of his teammate, and he has made the move stick, and he's up into the points now as Demolition Dan and Lewis go side by side. Lewis around the outside, Demolition Dan on the inside, and the Mercedes driver makes the move up into the top 5. And he's ahead, Night Fever and Harvey Allen side by side. There's contact, and they're on each other. Demolition Dan is looking interested. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there as well. And it's all kicking off at the moment as Demolition Dan tries to make a move around the outside. I'm surprised as Harvey has spun and he's off. He's off from the lead of the race. QWERTY now leads the Singapore Grand Prix, but he has a 5-second time penalty to his name. And he's going to drop further back, and Jake and his teammate going side by side. Jake has now dropped down to P10 behind his teammate as Harvey is now outside the points. So the fastest driver on track is now in 11th, and at the back of this train, still a long way to go in this race, as 5 seconds covers the top 11, or covers the 11 drivers in this train. That's quite close for comfort. I mean, 4 seconds covers 2nd to 11th at the moment, as Harvey Allen is trying to get back in the DRS range. Hasn't really gone well for the soft tyre runners. Travis Cole currently the highest runner, as Jake has made the move on Dejouk, and now Harvey is going to try and make the move on him as well, as he almost loses it on the exit of turn 3 through turn 4. As we go back on board with our leaders, here comes Harvey Allen, and here comes Demolition Dan down the inside, locks up, forces Harvey Allen off the road. And is Harvey Allen going to stick his nose in there? No. I think Night Fever is trying to have a go. He almost hits the back of Harvey, going into the next right-hander, into the next left-hander, and still going at it. Demolition Dan is trying to make a move on QWERTY. No, he thinks fair of it and stays in behind. But this move looks to be coming fairly soon. And they're all over the place. I think that Ferrari almost lost it. He's still going all right now. And there is Demolition Dan around the outside, trying to have a look. And Jake has made the move up into P8, and looks like Dejouk and Harvey going side by side, and Dejouk picks up a 3-second time penalty as he has made a move now on Krypik, and is side by side under the grandstand, and there's Harvey as well. Oh, he's going to be forced into the wall, bit of contact. Travis Cole picks up a time penalty, and Krypik is forced into a half spin there, and he's lost his whole wing, and looks like Demolition Dan has made the move for the lead. There he has, he's into the lead of the race now. It's all getting a bit frantic at the moment out front in the lead of this race. As the other flag in sector 1, and that is the Dejouk off the track, And he is out of this race. Yellow flag sector 1, and it's another safety car. As we all slow down once again. So then, Demolition Dan is in the lead from QWERTY, then Harvey Allen, Night Fever, Lewis, Chavez Cool, then Jake, and Mint Elephant. Other Jake who's not in the session still, Crypic, and Harvey, and So Big Stu Fly. Demolition Dan picks up a 5-second time boost through the pit lane. He's coming to the pits, but he's picking up a 5-second time, and QWERTY's back in the lead. I wasn't expecting that. So then, take a breather, and this should be, well, a frantic finish to this race. Currently on lap 25, and So Pigs Do Fly is a long way back. I wonder if it'll go on for another lap. Penalty situation. Demolition Dan's got 8 seconds now for spooning in the pit lane. QWERTY's got 5 seconds, but the only people on 3 seconds are drivers in 10th, 11th, and 12th. So Harvey Allen, Lewis Such, Jake, all set to gain positions. But yeah, it looks like we're carrying on. Position changes. Lewis has finally got up one. Chavez Cool is now 5th, but with the penalty, might end up dropping back. And probably will end up dropping back a couple of positions so that people want other penalties. But yeah, safety car should be in at the end of lap 26. So lap 27. We should have 5 laps of green flag racing to the end of the Grand Prix, and then we'll finally get to our winner. So another couple of minutes or so until we get to that point. And So Pigs Do Fly still trying to catch up to the back of the pack. As I say that, he comes into the pits. Probably put on a set of softs. But while he's doing that, we'll go back on board with our race leader, QWERTY, his teammate. So we just keep hearing like people hitting the wall in the background. But yeah, it might just be people going over the curbs at the same time. So safety car should be in the end of this lap. Might be a later call, but I imagine the Haas, also pigs to fly, will catch up. So then, safety car in this lap. So Pixify has caught up in time. And when's he gonna go? When is he gonna go? And he's gone now, and it's underway. He's tried to get a good start, but it doesn't seem like he has. The car's off the track in the background. THX Harvey going for a move around the outside. Qwerty's still in the lead of this race, as it looks like Jake is going for a move on Chavez call. Just drops back Mint Elephant and Demolition down. Mint Elephant was nowhere in this race. Oh, and he's definitely going to be nowhere in this race now, as him and Harvey have crashed with each other. And Mint Elephant is out of this race. 10 drivers still left in this race now. Everyone will score points if they finish. As all the side by side, Chavez calling Demolition Dan. And Demolition Dan fits for a fresh set of softs. All this contact forced into the wall. Here's Demolition Dan, and to go to Lewis. Ferrari goes deep, Lewis goes deep. Oh, and Demolition Dan has slid off track, and he is round. And there's Lewis off the track as well. And he's dropped down to 8th. And it's all kicking off at the moment. As is Crypic. Oh, it's So Pixify having a little nosy down the inside. Demolition Dan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Harvey Allen's still on the back of Qwerty at the moment. But there's action further back going on, and we'll go on board with the race leaders now, and Harvey Allen is set to win this race before the stewards come into action, but who knows, as Harvey has crashed in the final sector, and it's another safety car in this race. I don't even think we could have another safety car. This is not going to be out for long, that's for sure. And yeah, well, yeah, just yeah. So then, I'll sit rep for you. Lap 28 of the Grand Prix. We're still waiting to get picked up by the safety car. We're going to have 2 laps of green flag racing at the end of this race. Yeah. Sorry for the silence. Just trying to figure out what's going on at the moment. But yeah, Demolition Dan is still a long way back. But we haven't even caught up to the safety car yet, so that's why everyone's just rushing around at this point. And like I say, people on the mediums will be fine, but Yeah. As Chav is always coming to the pit lane for a fresh set of soft tyres. We'll fall behind Jayco R14, but he's not in the session. That'll be a simple overtake. And he'll be ahead of Demolition Dan, who also came into the pit lane. Who is going to win this race? It seems to be Harvey Allen. Just trying to check and see what's going on. Moving around, but yeah. Safety car should be in this lap. Well, will be in this lap because it can't go on any longer. Because otherwise, we'll only have one lap of green flag racing, and yeah, all the safety cars come out. More safety cars come out. In drying conditions than they did in the wet, which is interesting. And Quirty still doesn't have a helmet on, so he could be the first driver to win a race without a helmet on, but he's not going to win the race as it currently stands anyway, because he has some penalty to, he has 5 seconds penalty to his name, as this car's overtaken in the background, and Demolition Dan's going to have very warm tyres. Where's he going to go now? This time Quirty leading us away once again, and there we go, underway once again for the last 2 laps of this race. And Night Fever, it's all out of shape on the exit, and it looks like Chavis Cool and Lewis Such going side by side. There's So Pigs to Fly and Crypic going side by side, and it's all kicking off now in the background as there's Demolition Dan ahead of Chavis Cool, and they're both on soft and fresh soft tyres. And here come Jake having a look. But further back is Demolition Dan going to have a go around the outside. He's going to be forced off the track, but he's going to go down the inside and try and complete the move. Or a bit more contact between him and the Ferrari, as he's going to try around the outside. It can't do it there. The Ferrari is staying ahead at the moment, as Harvey Allen still trying to force Quirty into mistake. As Dan has a go down the inside, there was 3 wide on the exit. Always a bit of contact, and that is not going to help his run, as Lewis and Crypic go side by side. As and Demolition Dan hits the back of Lewis, and it's not going well for the Mercedes driver at the moment. And So Pigs to Fly on the back, as Demolition Dan finally tries to go down the inside. They're still side by side. They've been battling all lap at the moment, it looks like, as they're still going at it through the entirety of this lap. Still side by side, even more contact going on. Lewis goes off the track, and I thought he was going to try and take him out there, but luckily he didn't take out anyone, and now he's dropped back down. So Big Steve Fly has gone ahead of RRL Jake, and now he's under pressure. And he's 10 lap old soft. And there's contact, and they're all off, and oh no, Crypic and Demolition Dan. Crypic pulled out on the back of Jake to go down the inside. Didn't see Demolition Dan. And Jake carries on like absolutely nothing happened to him. Here comes Harvey Allen on the final lap. They're going to go side by side. He doesn't really have to make this move, so he can be as cautious as he likes. Quirty goes deep and off the track. And here comes Night Fever trying to have a look. And he doesn't want his race to end here, does Harvey Allen, because he's about to go and win the race. And there's Prix picks up a 3-second time penalty. And there Harvey Allen making a nice line through there. And through the final few corners. Oh, he gets a tap on the back from Night Fever. Living dangerously at the moment as Quay gets all out of shape on the exit of the hairpin. Down into the final sector we go. Not many corners left, and Quay is all over the place at the moment. And Harvey Allen just sticks behind. All he needs to do is stay behind as Jake and Travis get very close to each other in the background. And they're all very close with a second of the top four. But it looks like Quay is going to end up winning this race on track. Can't say that for certain because Harvey Allen is right there. They come round the final couple of corners now. Harvey Allen's going to push him up towards the line. Quay wins the race on track, but it's Harvey Allen who wins the race after penalties. And then So Pigs Do Fly comes home in second. Jake comes home in third. I'll round off the rest of the finishes for you. Harvey Allen gets driver of the day. But yes, here we go then. There's the podium. Harvey Allen wins, courtesy of not picking up a penalty in the end. But that is all he needed. A wet to dry race. Mostly dry in the end. But last to second for Pigs to Fly. There's the podium. Well, not last to second, no, sorry. Pretty much last to first for Harvey Allen. Then Jake finished third in the end. But so yeah, Harvey Allen wins from So Pigs Do Fly, then RL Jake. Quality finishes fourth. Lewis finishes fifth. Night Fever finishes sixth. And Travis calls seventh. Demishes down eighth. Crypick in at ninth. There was the finishers. Jake wasn't in the session. And then the DNFs were Harvey Mint Elephant, Duke plays Hitman Lemons, and Mr. J Swiffy. Thank you all for watching. It's been an entertaining race from start to finish. That is for sure. 63 minutes 48 seconds was the time. See you all soon, and good night.